Amazing Grace Sports Network coming at you one more time. Thank God for another day, another hour. My name is Eric K. James, and that is
Clay Morris, I am here, the men on the wheels of steel.
Mr. DJ.
I'm the DJ.
DJ. Uh,
Yes, everybody. Yes, everybody. This is a great day in Boston. Um, it's cloudy and overcast as usual, and just rained a little bit. But the Celtics won last night, and the Bruins won the other night. Uh, so let's see. Yesterday was Tuesday. The Bruins won Monday night. The Celtics won last night. Yeah, today is Wednesday, and Mr. James goes to Puerto Rico on Thursday. So I'm keeping all this in my mind.
we're going to start off with prayer.
Yes, we are. We'll start off with prayer.
Lord, we thank you for life, health, and we thank you for strength, Father. We thank you for freedom, Father, of the mind, body, and soul. We thank you for allowing us to think freely and continue to live freely, Father, for we know that that can be lost or taken away in a matter of seconds. Thank you for your grace and your love, Father, and an opportunity to continue to trust in you as we continue to flow through life, Father, and not have a worry of things that will come against us or will happen in our lives that you will not be able to control, deal with, or fix. We give you all the honor. We give you all the praise for everything that you've done, Father, and everything you're doing, even in the midst of turmoil, even in the midst of trouble, Father, that you are making a way and making divisions that we cannot even fathom. We give you honor on this day on Amazing Grace Sports Network and on WEZE on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. on 590 a.m. dial. And we thank you, Father. We just thank you for what you're doing and what you're going to do in our lives and our listeners' lives, Father.
Amen.
And we continue to give you praise in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Jesus, direct and guide us in all the ways of our life. Direct and guide us. Jesus Christ. The Celtics. Let's start off with the Celtics. Our guys, the Celtics. They put a whooping on those Cleveland Cavaliers, 117-95. They beat them by, well, that's a lot of points. They beat them by 22 points.
There was a few things going on there.
Yeah, not for the Cavaliers.
Their youth told them that they're not going to lose, so they keep fighting. So you can't take them for granted. Celtics definitely did their part.
The youth told them they ain't gonna lose, huh? But maybe they need to listen to old people like Jrue Holiday holding that ball right there, because Jrue Holiday's telling them they ain't gonna win.
Well, Jrue played some good D, but his offense is still on the way.
I think his shoulder's hurting him because I've noticed, and this I didn't notice this before, but he finished all of his layups with his left hand.
Okay.
Remember they said he had a right shoulder impingement.
Yeah. I think him and Tatum are playing injured, but they got to cut back. They went 10 deep yesterday, which was great. They went into the bench and gave everybody a little piece of the pie, and allowing the starters to rest. And if the starters continue to play like they played, the first 3 quarters, actually the first 2 quarters, when they start to inject Pritchard and a Hauser and what's the center's name? Cornette.
Cornette.
I mean,
got Luke Cornette in there.
It's like a well-oiled machine right now, man.
You're kidding me. Luke was looking like that. I heard he had a couple of block shots.
Man, Luke was playing ball. He was blocking out. He was doing all kinds. Hey, all of them was blocking out. It was crazy. I was watching some old school blockouts under the boards when the ball went up.
Yes. Dig at him, guys. Get him. Go get him, guys. Eat him up.
Well-oiled machine, man, and I just can't say enough on the teamwork, working as one unit. I mean, Tatum gave him 35 minutes, 7 for 19. He's kind of roughing it, 18 points.
Yeah, he's pushing
that hit that he dropped on the floor, getting bridged, is still lingering, I'm sure.
Caleb Murray, Miami Heat, all the time. They're going to. They took out Giannis last year.
Yeah.
Then they took out Tatum in the last game, the 7th game. They took him out. So unbelievable.
Yeah. Then we got Al Horford. Al Horford gave him 27 minutes for 3 of 7 on field goals for 7 points. Drew
I'll
Holiday,
take it.
36 minutes, 6 for 14 shooting for 14 points. D. White, and
D.
Derek White
White.
was the monster, 33 points.
Love me some D. White, baby.
33 minutes for a 9 of 16 shooting for 25 points. And Jaylen Brown is playing his game this year, 34 minutes, 12 of 18 shooting. He only mixed 6 shots for 32 points.
That's but you know what? That's efficiency, and that's what Paul Pierce used to do. And why I liked Paul Pierce over Kobe Bryant. Paul Pierce was not a volume shooter. He might shoot 19 times a game, and he's going to make 11 to 12. He's only going to miss 5, 6, 7 at the most.
Yeah, but he has to be comfortable with that he's not going to hit 25, 30, 40 points a game, but he's going to be a facilitator. He's going to hit the points he needs to. And once he's comfortable with doing that, then it works, because you got some cats that, oh, man, I got to get my points. And they start going with that one-on-one foolishness. Now we lose the game.
And you lose the game. You lose momentum. You lose your identity. And then you have everyone scuffling, sort of like Cleveland does when Donovan Mitchell just, says, I'm going to shoot the ball every time.
Oh, man. Yeah. That guy there. What's up, Mr. Magic?
How you doing, guys?
What's up, man?
I'm here. I hear what you guys are saying. I don't know. Clay, did you see the game? I know you go to bed early.
Don't start.
No, I'm not being facetious. I'm going somewhere with this.
No, I didn't see the game. I didn't see the game. I saw the highlights.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Like I said, I wasn't trying to be funny, but because I wanted to comment on the flow of the game. One of the things that's different about this year than last year, and I think Mazzulla needs credit, because you guys know that I was giving him a little bit of a hard time earlier, right?
No, you rode him like he was a lame horse.
Yeah, but I mean, I understood what the challenge was last year. Kept telling everybody to wait, and I'm not trying to give him, more than he deserves this year either. But one thing you guys notice is that the Celtics are not just settling for 3 points like they were last year. Last year, they were just hoisting threes, whether they were making them or not. And I think that hurt them in a couple of games, which is why they lost to Miami. But
they lost.
This year, if you guys notice, they are pounding it inside an awful lot. Jaylen Brown is driving on people like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, and in the highlights, he was cooking them. He was cooking people.
Fearless. And Tatum's numbers may not be great, but the fact that he's pounding it inside too is making the defense play inside and out rather than just take the perimeter away, which is leaving it wide open for the perimeter game. And the beneficiary of it is Derek White.
White.
Pritchard, he's a streaky shooter. Hauser is, when he's in a game, he's a threat from the outside. But even Tillman got in the game yesterday, and he forced an inside presence.
Inside out.
One of the things that the Celtics are doing this year that they didn't do last year is making defenses play the entire, half of the court.
And make them pay.
And they're making them pay the whole game, because, like I said earlier, they're playing 10 deep. So they're not just playing and killing the first 5. They're going 5 into the bench, which gives everybody a blow, which made it a very comfortable game last night. So now that Mazzulla can see that works, Cleveland's lost, because they was looking for them just to be throwing up them doggone threes. So Cleveland tried with the threes themselves. Well, okay, y'all not going to throw up a whole bunch of threes. We'll just throw the threes up, and then we saw how that worked out for them.
Not too well.
Bickerstaff.
As I read the box score here, our guy Donovan Mitchell was 4 for 11.
Oh yeah, he was rough.
Well,
he was 4 from 11 from the 3-point line, so he was jacking them up. The other guy who jacked him up was Okoro.
Okay, so here's where I push back on the people who believe it, who rely on stats. Donovan Mitchell kept that team closer than that game actually was.
Oh,
he
kept it closer than 22 points?
He absolutely did. That game could have been a complete blowout because Donovan Mitchell was the only offense that team had at times. And he was exhausted. He was wiped out because he was playing defense, but he was the only offense. So he didn't have a bad game.
That's the way he plays, though. He's very greedy, man. He holds on to that ball and does way too much.
Yeah, you got to pass the ball. You got to pass the rock. And I don't know about his playing defense because his man was Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown had 32 points. So that defense thing, I might have to look at again.
Yeah, I think you need to watch that game. I mean, without him, that game is a complete blowout.
Well, maybe if he passed the ball a little bit more, he wouldn't have to do so much.
To who?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now I'm going to do a LeBron thing. He has no players on this team. I want you to tell me in that game yesterday who he was going to get other offense from. Wait. These are NBA players, right? I mean, you tell me that Miami's got NBA players and you still have to be accountable. But now you're going to tell me that Donovan Mitchell doesn't have NBA players, right?
I never said that. That's why we start going sideways because you start putting words in my mouth.
You're saying he has nobody to pass to.
But you're not asking. You're implying, and that's not what I said.
Are you saying that he has nobody? You're saying he has nobody to pass to.
I answered the question. You got Mobley. You got Okoro.
Okay, Okoro had a couple of 3-point shots, and that wasn't even his game last night. But he hit a couple of 3-pointers, but that's not his game. So when he started missing them, the Celtics pulled away.
Well, he's got Strus. He's got Matt Strus. And he's got Garland.
He's got guys who play on the team with him, but they're not. The Celtics got offense from top to bottom. No matter what you do, those guys are offensive threats. Right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers do not have a lot of offensive threats.
They are not offensive threats if you keep holding on to the ball as Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum do sometime and do ISOs, then the rest of your team is freezed out and out of sync.
I would implore you to watch the game and find out where that offense is going to come from.
It's going to come from the other 4 players and other players on the team if he passes the ball.
I agree with you. It's got to come from them, but they weren't doing it last night. He did give opportunities. They were missing wide open shots towards the latter part of the third quarter.
They even missed a few layups.
They missed layups.
But you don't stop giving them. You don't stop giving them the ball.
Wait a second. That should tell you right there.
They were giving him the ball.
That should tell you right there they're out of sync, and it's because of Donovan Mitchell.
Absolutely not. We disagree. We can move on.
No, we can disagree, but it's still true.
Hey, I think it was more of the defense that the Celtics was providing.
I agree.
Through the Mafia game.
You can't say that if they're missing wide open shots.
They were missing wide open. Eric just said it. They were missing layups. Literally layups.
You can't say it's the defense if they're missing layups and wide open shots, guys.
Oh goodness.
All right, moving on.
You're killing me here, man. You're killing me here.
Okay, listen, I got something for you guys. What do we got here?
You're killing me here.
Yeah, listen to this. I got something for you.
We want to set the tone on defense. We kept them under 100, but we feel like we got an answer for everything. So we just play the game the right way, and we see what they want to take away, and then we play after that.
You and I have talked earlier this season about the importance of your athleticism, getting in the paint touches. Explain how that helps to open up the offense.
You just want to make the defense kind of convert, and we got some great three-point shooters, so that's really my job. I try to take it on myself to get to the paint, and that opens it up for our shooters.
Well, that's something Donovan Mitchell should do. He should get to the paint and open it up for the rest of his players.
Man, okay, so I see you're not a Donovan Mitchell fan, so
I am.
that part is clear. That part is clear.
You can't be objective these days. Anytime you're objective, people think you hate on somebody. I don't hate on Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell's a fantastic player, but I'm going to tell you, Donovan Mitchell, you need to pass the ball around. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, that could work, but I don't think that's what their problem is. They're completely overmatched with the Boston Celtics.
Well, okay, guys, I got a clip of. I want you guys to listen to this. This is Derek White. And have you heard of anybody who really doesn't want the spotlight more than this guy? Take a listen to this.
Questions for Derek?
How does it feel to just be this hot shooting the ball right now and, in this much in a groove? Just how does it feel?
Feels good. I think just the most important thing is just to win. Like I've said before, it doesn't matter if I score 0 or however many I score today. Like, when we win, then doing enough. That's all it is.
How did those chants feel, the Derek White chants?
It was awesome. Shout out to the fans always. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for them always.
You don't want to say nothing.
He don't want to say nothing.
He's never been a guy that's trying to jump out there and take the light. It's great to have that guy on your team because he's very humble.
He's fantastic, man. I think he's been the most valuable player so far of the team in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's not overlook the value of what Drew Holiday is giving the team because he's not putting it.
The one-armed man, Drew Holiday only got his left hand. He ain't got no right hand no more.
Oh my goodness, man! I don't even know why I do this with you, man. I'm not gonna fall for the bait today, man. I'm not.
Why not? We do so well
for the bait.
Go for the bait. I get you in there.
Listen, Cleveland is overmatched. The Celtics in 5. They're gonna go to sleep what they do in a game, and then they're gonna get woken up at the end of the game and say, "How did we lose?" And they're gonna win the next 3, and that's what's gonna happen. This series is over.
In Boston it would be OVA.
Over.
I ain't gonna call it that because we have a habit of pulling back. But if we got that that push that we need to know that we got to finish stuff out, then I'll say in 5 games, maybe 6. But we definitely have the equipment to run right through all of these series straight to the finals. So if we continue to operate as a unit in that well-oiled machine condition, we'll be greatly appreciative as commentators, as fans, and all that. So it's just one game at a time, man. One game at a time. Keep doing what you're doing.
They're going to win it pretty good. I'm going to go through. Jason Tatum was 0 for 5. I think, you know what? I really want to, and I hate to do this but I think I should because
is that ball up that paper with the stats on it? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, I got the paper with the stats on it.
Oh, you're going to ball it up? You hate to do that, huh?
But no, what I'm saying is that Tatum is hurt, and
I agree.
I'm rough enough on him when he's not hurt, but then I think he's just being selfish or whatever. But he's pushing through this. He took a fall earlier. I think I watched the first part of the game. He took a fall early in the game. He got up, and you could see he was wincing. And for those of us, me and Eric, who have back problems, I got to give him kudos for going out there and playing with a back problem because it's pretty tough. And he's pushing through it. He played 35 minutes. So he's just gutting through it.
So you're absolutely correct in that observation because he shot an air ball from the elbow. That's not what you would call somebody who's 100% healthy. No. You don't do that too often. So your observations are right. He is fighting through it. I don't know whether or not they could sit him for a game or 2 and find out whether or not that will help because back problems just don't go away.
They just don't go away.
Yeah, and if he sits too long, he'll probably get stiff. So
yeah,
he's out there, but he's kind of laying back. He's not doing a whole lot.
Right.
He's just staying loose. and that might be all he needs to give this series. You know,
he had 11 rebounds. He had 11 rebounds and 5 assists, 1 block, only 1 turnover. So the guy's more than holding his own.
But he didn't handle the ball much either. He didn't have to handle the ball much either.
Good
Which he never really has to handle the ball to give it to Derek.
Yeah. The less he handles it, even when he's healthy, I think it's better. I mean, I don't want him bringing up the ball. I'm sorry, Joe. I don't want him bringing up the ball. Let him catch it over half court. But Jason Tatum is gutting it out, and I think that needs to be said. And if there's a guy that's like Derek White who doesn't want to talk on the camera, Jason Tatum also gets that. But I don't have a clip of him. I left that clip out. But he said it as much as Derek White did. He behaved as if, just leave me alone. I just want to go home.
Yeah, they're not the LeBron and D-Wade Mike Hogs that they were back in Miami days. Whenever they had an interview, the two of them were side by side, acting like they didn't have the rest of the team on the court when they played. I used to hate that.
Yeah. Well, they didn't. They didn't need those people until they lost. Then when they lost, they said they didn't have any teammates. They didn't have any. They didn't have a supporting crew. Funny how that works when you're the.
Yeah, I used to. That's what drove me crazy about that Miami series. I mean, that Miami team. But anyway, I think the Celtics are definitely cruising through this one. If they play New York, they're going to have some challenges. It's going to probably be a 6-7 game series. They're a gritty team. New York, the Knicks are a gritty team. And Josh Hart, man, kudos to that guy. He's stepping up and he's filling in where he ordinarily wouldn't have the role that he has, but they got a couple of injuries that's messing up their rotation. And Josh Hart, we know Brunson's getting it, but Josh Hart is definitely, a large reason why the Knicks are where they are.
Hey, don't take out Vincenzo. What's his name?
Oh,
DiVincenzo.
Yeah,
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, DiVincenzo's definitely, I would say that third link. But listen, his acting skills are probably better than his ball handling skills right now. That guy.
Go for it. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that guy in that flop, that had to be a Denzel-like type performance. I mean, he sold that, and that was the difference in the game.
Well, I think Brunson selling that
off that pick.
Yeah, Brunson selling that pick move was another one. I mean, maybe the New York Knicks, maybe they should just be on Broadway acting, because I think that's what they do better than play basketball.
No, they're a pretty. That's a darn good team. They're well coached, and they know how to fight through adversity at the end of these games. But yeah, they got some help too. Listen, Indiana got hosed. Indiana got hosed. We know it.
Yeah, but they're
just sickening with those flops.
That's barely a touch on Brunson. Brunson threw his head back like he went to Dennis Rodman's, or wait a minute, Manu Ginobili. Oh, maybe LeBron James School of Acting.
Yeah,
like somebody shot him.
Yeah, I mean, back to the Celtics. They're going to be fine in the East. But man, I enjoyed the games yesterday. I enjoyed watching all of this stuff because it's making you watch the games different. You know how back in the 80s we just watched the game and that's all we did?
Yeah.
And then now with today's, everybody's an analyst now. Everybody's smart. Everybody knows the game. So when you watch it now, well, that's true. Not everybody, but, a lot of us, we watch it now from a different place, and we got appreciation for certain, styles of play. Like, anybody back in the day would have said, oh, man, Denver just got their butts handed to them. There's no way they're going to win this series. But, it's possible they can come back out and win the next game, even though they look so bad in the first game.
What?
Listen,
what?
Them young boys, you can't put nothing past them. You got to keep on working hard and operating, like I said. Hey, can we inject one thing?
What's that?
What are your thoughts about Pat Riley's statement about Butler making his statement?
I loved it.
He need to shut his mouth.
Shut his mouth.
Some people think that was a little harsh. Some people think that was a little harsh.
No, it's true. If you're sitting on the bench, you need to shut your mouth. You're not even playing. You don't get to talk about what's going on out there when you're on the bench. I think what he's telling Jimmy is that it's about to be a divorce.
What do
Well,
you think, Magic?
I don't know when he made the comment. Did he make it during the series or after the series? Because it said something about so if it's after the series, then I think Riley should keep his mouth shut, in my opinion, because it was already over. These guys are competitors. They're young guys. It's a crap talking league. That's what you do, and you're just telling somebody, hey, listen, if I was out there, it would have been different. There's nothing wrong with that. You want a guy that's got fire. But to tell somebody after the fact, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
I don't even know whether or not I don't even know whether or not he's going to be on that roster. So you know what? Don't tell me to keep my mouth shut. Don't tell me to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
If you're on the bench and the game is in the heat of the battle and you're stirring up the fire in another team, absolutely. I want you off the bench and I want your mouth shut.
Let's try that again. You should not do that. You don't want to give the other team bulletin board material. You're not trying to stir up the other team.
The series is over. Bulletin board for what?
Well, then, if that's the case, he should shut his mouth because he didn't play. Jimmy Butler. I have like 3 shots of you in the same position with 3 different uniforms on. The Timberwolves, what was it? Was it Chicago? And with the Heat, you're always down grabbing your right knee. Jimmy, you need to shut up because you can't seem to stay out there on the court.
Well, everybody has their opinions. Magic has his, you have yours, and I don't even have an opinion. I just thought it was interesting.
You said everybody. How you say everybody and then
say everybody if you ain't got one?
That is my opinion. I don't have one.
No, you can't. That's not an opinion.
Yes, it is. Now, how you gonna tell me my opinion is not an opinion because it's not an opinion?
I ain't going there.
My
point. I think if he was under contract and there was a possibility that we're going to play them next year, whatever. But it's not even a foregone conclusion. This guy's even going to be, like you said, Clay. It's a divorce. Therefore,
I feel like a divorce is coming up.
Okay, so Riley, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell me to keep my mouth shut while I'm on the way out the door. That's a punk move.
Excuse me, Riley just punked him then.
He probably did. But I tell you what, it would behoove Jimmy Butler to keep his mouth shut going forward because it's not going to look good for a contract on another team if he's going back and forth with the GM of Miami. So you're right. Riley's got the trump card.
That's right. Keep your mouth shut. I think Riley's just pissed out, and we'll move on from that. Let's talk about the Bruins. I mean, because we're at 12:31, and we have to get the Bruins in. Jeremy Swayman, yeah. Jeremy, you know what? And I think we have a clip of this guy. What does he look like? Right there. Jeremy Swayman had 38 saves. This kid looks like he's in junior high. You should see the clip of this other guy. He's a real young dude. On the national stage, had 38 saves against arguably the best team in the National Hockey League. And there was a debate on which goaltender to use. And even though Swayman had carried him through the last series, they were still thinking about using this guy Umak, which I think is totally insane. But the Bruins won the first game 5-1 in
overtime. No, there was no overtime. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, how do you get the overtime?
5 points.
They scored 4 goals in overtime, sudden death.
Yeah, they kept going. They just kept going. They didn't call the game.
Kept going.
Yeah, they came up with what I thought was their biggest issue, which was offense. They're a good defensive team, but they came up with what I thought was their biggest issue, which is offense. And the score is a little inflated because they had a couple of open-handed,
They had one.
Well, yeah, they had that last one where it was wide open.
Open that goal. They had one open that goal.
Yeah.
But other than that, They were beating Florida from pillar to post. They got some young guys that showed out. It wasn't Marchand, it wasn't Pasternak. It was
Who's that guy, Coyne or
Corey,
whatever?
Carlo, Brian, and another guy. But those guys are the ones who put it to him.
Yeah, I mean, the Bruins have never had a problem with being in a series. They got a problem with winning the series.
Yeah.
So if they can take this first win and get a little bit of encouragement and maybe sneak another one, you know, I'd be encouraged. But one win when you need 4, yeah, we'll see.
Let's try this. Let's listen to Jeremy Swayman describe his night.
In general, which gets me going. I think my job is to stop the puck regardless of what kind of save it is, and we were fortunate to get that early save and getting pucks early to the net, so that was something that we could build on.
They made their push early in the third period, and Jim called the timeout. How much did that settle everybody down?
He knows the game so well. He knows when to have our bench, take a timeout, and he has such a great sense of game management. And I think after that timeout, you could tell the momentum shifting, and I had no doubt in my mind our guys were going to respond the right way. And seeing the way they did it, that's just a testament to what kind of group we have.
So you gotta save the puck. So you got the puck. You save the puck.
The puck. The puck.
Yeah, man. Hey, was Pat Maroon on the ice?
Yeah, he was. There was a Maroon sighting.
Oh, okay. I'm just surprised there's not a Maroon recording out here.
No, well, you have to dig for these things with the Bruins. It's not like the Celtics actually get better coverage. And, you got Jaylen Brown, you got Jason Tatum. There was a Joe Mazzulla he got out there, and he was talking about what the team did and how he thought they did, but I had to scratch. Those Bruins audios.
You can only imagine how hard it is to get something in a city that doesn't have hockey at all.
We talking about Atlanta, man. That ain't a real city.
What? As big as this place is?
It ain't a real city. It's not cosmopolitan. It's a backward hick town.
Well, it's a city for sports for college and high school.
Listen, you guys in Atlanta doesn't even have a building that's over 15 stories. You call that a city? It's not a city.
Actually, I was just doing a job in a building that had 55 floors. I was surprised, but it had 55 floors.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you in Houston?
Floors.
You in Houston?
No, if it had 55 floors, that means it's taller than the Prudential, right?
No.
Right.
No.
How many floors Prudential?
Well, it's more than that.
No, I thought the Prudential was 51, 52 floors.
Well, let's just move on from there. This other guy here, this is one of the guys that scored the goal. This guy here. Mason Laurie.
Look at this kid. Like a high schooler.
You know what I'm saying? Look at this kid. Look at this
kid. Where's he play? Quincy High?
Yeah, in the 10th grade. He's not even a senior, this kid. But this kid scored a goal. He missed another one. But here's what he had to say about what was going on.
He made very early in the game against Lundell. To what extent did this give energy, knowing that he was still dialed in?
Oh, I mean, the guy's always dialed in, and we're never worried about that. He's, unbelievable, and the backbone of this team, so we're lucky to have him, and obviously he's one of the best boys in the league. So,
what is the reaction when there's a massive pileup in his net, and he usually comes out of it smiling? Like what is that reaction for you guys?
Yeah, always. I mean, it seems like you can never rattle the guy. He's always smiling, always singing along to songs. It's relaxing, at least for me. I mean, I see it and kind of makes you remember it's just a game, and he can go out there and play as well as he does and go and have fun.
There he is. He's talking about the goalie Swayman. So let me get him off the board here, Mr. Junior High. That's the kid. That's the kid that scored the goal, Laurie. But
Wow.
He's talking about Swayman. I don't think the two of them. I don't know, man. Maybe we're just getting old.
I don't know. I couldn't figure out who was who. I didn't know if that was his voice I was hearing or.
No, it was his voice. Well, there was a guy interviewing them, and then it became his voice. And he talked through a lot of it. He's talking about, that Swayman is unflappable.
Yeah, he sounds a lot more mature than he looks.
Jeez.
Hey, for you Bostonians, it's 52 floors in the Prudential in Boston.
All right, give Magic a cigar. I tend to know what I'm talking about from time to time.
Time to time. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Boston, come on, man. What are you doing? You can't fall behind Atlanta. That one cow town. One mule town.
I remember hanging out with you once or twice in this cow town.
Yeah. After we stepped over all the trash and the bums in the street. Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. It ain't that bad.
I guess he hasn't been on Mass Ave lately, but that's all right.
I don't know where he ain't been. Boy, I don't know what he's thinking about or talking about because that's in every state and city.
Not like Atlanta, man.
Woo, boy, what street you live on?
Well, anyway, let's just move on. We don't have to talk about this type of stuff. Well, we don't have to talk about methadone mile or anything, that's going down there in Atlanta. The Bruins, they play tonight, guys. They play tonight. So you got this guy here, Mason Lohrei, Jeremy Swayman. Gosh, at least he's got a beard. At least this one's got a beard. But then we have the old guys, Pasternak and Marchand. Let's see what's happening. I mean, I like the kids. I like the kids if they can hold up and have the old guys. You got a mix of old guys and very young kids. And you got DiCarlo there. He's a young guy. They got Coyle. So they got Pat Maroon. They got a decent mix between young and old. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, they got a tough path ahead of them, man. But like I said, when they get two under their belt, I'll start thinking that they can actually get through this series. But the Panthers they're probably favored to win this series, right?
The Panthers are, definitely overwhelmingly favored.
Yeah. So, I'm glad we stole one. Wish we could have saved a couple of those goals for another game, but we'll see. Again, like I said, I'm doing something that I normally don't do, which is pay attention to ESPN and watch the box scores, but not the actual game. So I can't get too much into it.
But if they win tonight, guys, man, it's gonna be crazy in Boston. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much time we can spend on this with the time that we have left, but I wanted to kind of go back to the NBA. Are we done with that?
No. I want to do some with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Dallas Mavericks and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
For sure.
Okay.
And what I want to talk about that as well.
Come here.
Okay, so we kicked the crap out of Dallas yesterday.
Hey, hold on for a second. I'm gonna let my co-host tell me what he thinks about Dallas. What do you think about Dallas? Come over here.
They're very, very.
Look into the screen.
They're very talented.
Why?
What?
Dallas is talented. Why?
Because they have a lot of people that can shoot threes, and their momentum is very good.
Who can shoot threes?
Kyrie, Luka.
Luka can't shoot no three.
He absolutely did yesterday.
Let him finish. What else?
Luka was 1 for 8 yesterday in 3-point land.
Yeah, he shot a three.
He could shoot them, but he got to make them. And that's my point.
Listen.
I want to bring up Luka Doncic. He's killing this team. Luka Doncic is you know what? Can I go into my thing here, what I wanted to talk about here? Luka Doncic is a team killer. He's a team killer, guys. I mean, Kyrie has saved him this year. I'm going to throw it right out there. Kyrie has saved him. If it wasn't for Kyrie, he'd be looking like the team killer he has looked for the past couple of years. And not only that, what really gets my goat, what really, works me up, is that they compare him to Larry Bird. Larry Bird was a winner. Larry Bird was a team builder. He was a team bonder. He worked hard. He built his teammates up. He made them look better. That's not Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is he's worse than Kobe when it comes to ball hogging. Kobe was a ball hog. Luka Doncic has taken it to another level.
Well, he slows the game down too much. And now that he's a little hurt, he went down yesterday and did his ankle. He slows it down even more. He should not be pushing the ball down court.
No, we talked about that last year.
Yeah, every once in a while, okay, we get it. Everybody does it, but not like you. You're not a point guard.
No, you're not a point guard.
Leave that, especially when you have a point guard.
Like Kyrie Irving.
Very efficient.
Don't get me started.
Jason Kidd on all this? Has anybody seen Jason Kidd? Because Jason Kidd is supposed to be their coach, but somehow he can't get this across.
Well, Jason Kidd just got an extension. He's not. I guess there was rumors that he might possibly end up in L.A., but he just got an extension. So
nobody wants that.
So he's staying in Dallas.
But shouldn't he have some sort of control or say? Hello.
Well, I don't think he wants to take the offense away from Luka. Luka is definitely an offensive threat. I don't think he should be bringing the ball down. I don't know what happened to him yesterday, but he tripped over that player. It looked like, it was just a weird. It should not have happened, and he hit the ground hard like he never saw him. And then he got up and
get him out the game. But guys, being an offensive player, he don't pass the ball well unless we're talking about an alley-oop lob, okay? He doesn't rebound. He doesn't play defense. He doesn't motivate his teammates. He doesn't make his teammates better. He is a team killer. Offensive points does not make your team, as Donovan Mitchell is finding out.
Let me ask you this. If you could go back to the draft and you were the Atlanta Hawks, do you think you fared better picking Trey Young or
Luka
skipping
Doncic.
over Luka Doncic?
Luka Doncic. But you're going to need a tough coach because a coaching decision should have been made during the season when they saw how good of a shape Kyrie Irving was in. And a coaching decision needed to be made then about Kyrie needs to bring up the ball 70% of the time, at least.
I like we're having this conversation because one of the things that grinds my gears most about the NBA, and there's a handful, but the idea that these guys are leaning more towards big men bringing the ball up and taking the ball out of point guard's hands, almost minimizing the point guard position. It's ridiculous.
Well, but the rounded pieces, they're all taking the positions away because everybody's shooting threes. So what big men used to do is no longer what they do. So you understand what I'm saying? So big men used to go to the hole and prepare for, blocking out, getting that lob in there to slam, or lay up, block shots and all that. That no longer happens. So we all coming down as five, and we're all going to stop at the 3-point line, and we all going to shoot because all of us can make threes.
Let me point. I got what you're saying, and you're absolutely, going down the right path. I agree, but a team without a facilitator is a lost team right now because
I think they're making excuses for the fact that they don't have the coaches don't have control of the players. Because someone should have told Jason Tatum, you don't need to bring the ball up anymore now that we have Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White, or Peyton Pritchard. Someone should have told him that. Just like someone should be telling Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving is the guy who's going to be bringing up the ball 70% of the time. Forget about this positionless stuff. These are the best guys to bring the ball up. They're the best because they get it up on time. They get it up with pace. They get it up with more handle, which means more options. And they're the better ball handlers, period. Okay,
Bradley,
lack of the coaches have any to say, yo, fire me or get me out of here. because this is what should be going. And speaking of which, coach is getting fired. I want to move on to LeBron James. I want you guys to hear something. I want you guys to hear what Stephen A. Smith had to say. And we only got a couple of minutes left, so listen to this.
That LeBron James camp doesn't get to pull off what they will try to pull off. Because you see, the narrative is already we're blaming LeBron James for the firing of coaches. That's not what this discussion is. What this discussion is us debating that another firing that has occurred under his watch, whether or not that compromises quote-unquote GOAT status in the eyes of a Shannon Sharpe or Kendrick Perkins or Stephen A. Smith and others. That is what the debate is. See, they'll leave. And what they'll say is, oh, LeBron James is getting blamed for the firing. We're not saying that. What we're saying is that you're not as innocent and you're not some just mere spectator in this whole scenario.
Not that Davon Hand stood up to LeBron and said, we're going to cut your minutes either. Just like nobody can stand up to Luka and nobody can stand up to Jason. But that was a tirade.
Stephen A. One week he's for LeBron, the next week he's not for LeBron. Who is he?
I don't think he's hurting. I don't think he's killing him. I think he's just calling out something that people are going to talk about. But the bigger thing is that Clay actually used a Stephen A. clip.
Yeah, I know. Huh?
That's the real story here. So the narrative that we're talking about, LeBron James getting coaches fired, is not the conversation here. The narrative is that we get a guy who never even wants to utter the word Stephen A. Smith. Put this clip on this particular platform, this podcast. That's the conversation.
And I'm going to show you why I did that, because I'm going to double down. Listen to part 2.
To touch on. And that is the fact that LeBron James has brought these debates on himself, Shannon, because of this insatiable appetite he has to control narratives. It's what he does. Nobody, I repeat, nobody, no star in the history of sports has gone about the business of methodically, systematically, continuously trying to control the narrative.
I 1000% agree with that.
That's why I ended up putting them on, because actually I'm 1,100, 1,000, but 1,000,000% agree. Yeah, and even because the whole hype of LeBron James over the years has been, the guy's played 20 years. He's won 4 but that's pretty darn not too good. 4 NBA finals. I mean, I think you've lost 4 too.
I will say this: LeBron James, and somebody's TV's a little loud, but LeBron James is a unicorn. This guy was so great that he posed a lot of problems for GMs because they were trying to build the perfect team, and they were trying to emulate what we thought we would never see again, which is Michael Jordan. They didn't know how to do it. They didn't know how to build around him. And not only that, I mean, Cleveland was a small market team trying to play a big market game. Didn't work. Went down to Miami. They built a super team, and then LeBron James started he did what he does. Tried to control just about every aspect of where things were going. Pat Riley didn't want no parts of it, and that's why that separated.
I mean, those were his best years. I mean, LeBron's not that great at building a super team if we look at it. I mean, he got down there to Miami. Dwayne Wade coaxed him down there. He left that. He tried to build it in Cleveland. He killed that franchise. Now he's over in LA killing that one.
Well, I mean, he's overstayed his welcome now. It's time for him to.
There's a commonality in LeBron. He kills your franchise.
It's time for him to pack his bags and call it quits.
Absolutely not. That man is still playing on a high level. He can help a team. He can definitely help a team. He's playing better than more than 50% of that league.
No, he's
So
not.
then
No, he's not.
go out.
Absolutely.
So
You guys
then
are
you go out on
forgetting.
top.
Absolutely not. You guys
He
are
is
forgetting
not.
that there's bench players on these teams.
They
He's
should be
better
playing.
than
They should
50%.
be playing.
He's
They should
better
be
than
playing.
50%.
If you gave these bench players the same amount of opportunity to travel and not get called for it, foul and not get called for it, jump up and down like a freaking knucklehead and not get called for it, if you give them the same chance to get offensive fouls when nobody touches you, oh yeah, they look like a star too. As a matter of fact, I got one right in mind here. This guy's name is James Harden. James Harden, another made-up star. LeBron James is a great physical specimen, but is he a great player? By no stretch of the means is he a great player.
Like I said,
around him, he stands no chance of anything.
Hello. Like I said before, I was interrupted before. Magic was interrupted, and Mr. Clay has to have the word on the whole scenario. I said, he had to go out on the top of his game. The top of his game is as far as he's going to reach right now, because he ain't got no more tops to go to. He done hit all his doggone stats that he's looking for and all that other stuff. So look at even looking at Michael Jordan. He went to the Wizards and showed that he couldn't do it no more.
Nope, couldn't do it.
So why would you wait until that point?
Well, let me ask you guys this. Does LeBron James right now look like Michael Jordan looked when he went to the Wizards?
No.
All right. If you put Donovan Mitchell or a Devin Booker.
Wait. I say he looks worse than Michael. And if they don't call stuff for this guy, he's a nothing. A nothing.
Wow. I think that guy took your ex-girlfriend.
And everybody wants to run around this. This guy gets calls that are unbelievable. He falls down, they give him calls. He runs over people, they give him calls. And he's got the worst behavior of a teammate.
Hey, I'm gonna have to agree with that, Marlon. He do get a handful of calls, man.
Yeah, I can accept that, but I'm just looking at everything else that Clay is saying. I'm like, I think he took your ex-girlfriend, man. That sounds kind of emotional, man. It's
you can have my ex-girlfriend. Don't touch my McDonald's fries. You touch my fries, there'll be a fight. But LeBron ain't gonna take my fries. LeBron was a great athlete. He was a great athlete, and there was a time when I watched him. He was a great athlete, but is he a great player? I've never thought so because he's not clutch.
All right. Listen, we got a couple of minutes, and I want to ask you guys what you think about the Jamal Murray non-suspension.
Was it a suspendable offense? Is the first question.
Yeah. I heard that it wasn't. I heard it was not a suspendable offense. So I don't know where you got your information that he should have been suspended, because there were referees talking about it. They said they could have gave him a tech, but they couldn't have suspended him.
Well, listen, here's the deal. When you say you don't know where I got my information from, and Eric's asking, is it a suspendable offense? I'll start with saying that the NBA can do exactly what they want to do in terms of discipline. And we saw what they did with Ja Morant. If they decide something should be done, they do it. Look what they did with Draymond Green. If they decide something needs to be done, they do it. They don't say, well, is it a suspendable offense? I think throwing something on the court in the middle of a play where players can get hurt is reason. It's cause. It's not about the question being a suspendable offense. It's just cause for a suspension. I never thought they were going to do it. I never thought they were going to do it because it's too big of an impact on a series that would have been clearly defined if they did suspend Jamal Murray.
Wait a second. We watched Draymond Green alligator wrestle people, step on people, and not get suspended. And I don't even think you can compare this to any of that. You give too broad of a latitude to a situation like this that they can do anything they want on a heating pad.
No, not a heating pad, Clay, but for something that somebody can slip and really injure themselves. That would be a bigger effect on the playoffs than anything. That
if somebody had a slip,
right? So that's the basis that you got to go by.
No, you don't.
It was a dangerous thing. It was a dangerous act. It's like throwing a bottle of water on the floor. Players are coming down the court.
Obviously, it's not, because we watched Draymond Green choke Jaylen Brown and Rudy Gobert. But could you say they could have broken their neck? Yeah. But what they could have did and what they didn't do, there.
We got that. But however, the league could have done more. They could have done more, because they don't do more things are going to happen. When they make the example and start doing what they're supposed to do, when these cats are acting like kids, then we won't have actions coming after it.
That's true. And they should do more. But to compare to anything Draymond Green has done, or anything, or what John Morant was doing with flashing guns repeatedly, getting caught on tape, that's a big broad scope from a heating pad.
No. Again, if we don't discipline, then there's just drama and there's just craziness. And the lack of discipline that they're doing with these doggone players, allowing them to do the foolishness they do, it's only getting more buffoonery as we go along. And as you see, it's going. Draymond and everybody else throwing the ball into a crowd of people. Why are we throwing the ball into the crowd of people?
Oh, gosh.
Why are we throwing a doggone pack on the floor? Why are we doing this? What sense does it make? Can you not control your emotions?
Well, he definitely, committed an offense. I'm just talking about the scope of it, as opposed to throwing the ball at a fan or choking a player out or displaying guns. It's a bit, I don't know if we can equate it to that extreme, but he definitely needs to be disciplined.
Again, this is what happens. It gets worse and worse and worse. So if you don't take the simple things that's a violation serious, why would you take the serious situations? It's more. I mean, there's no level of doing something about
it. Right.
Yeah.
Because I agree. Some of the things we've seen done deserve a lot more attention. But I don't know if you and here we go. If you can't do anything about that, how much you going to do for a heating pad?
Well, I mean that's what we were talking about, is whether or not we thought he should have been suspended. I think we all unanimously agree it's an act. Well, maybe not. Maybe we don't unanimously agree, but he should have been suspended. I didn't think they were going to do it because it impacted that series too much by taking him out. And we know what the NBA thinks about their superstars being benched in that situation. They're going to make a business decision, and they made one.
Well, here's where I am. And
okay, now we got an opinion.
This is what real life, okay? You have to be careful of the decisions that you make, because when you make those decisions and it causes that much of an effect, or could cause that much of an effect, it affects more than just you. So shame on you if you made that bad decision and now you are no longer on that particular series anymore because of the decision you made. You should have thought about it before you made it. So we have to be held more responsible for what decision we choose to make. So if I'm that mad that I'm going to throw something on the floor that could or do hurt someone, then I'm just mad enough to go ahead and not play for the rest of this series. And that's just where it is. I don't care how it affects it, but they think of it as a money thing. They're going to lose money, or they're going to lose and it's too many different factors versus what's right and what's wrong.
You know what? I got to agree with you guys. Actually, I was on the other fence and, thought he shouldn't be suspended. But I thought that in the face of comparing it to some of the other things that I've seen in the NBA. But then again, I thought they should have been suspended for that. Just like I think something should happen to Patrick Beverley. I thought something should have been done with John Morant. I thought something should have been done with Draymond Green long time ago. Yes.
Right. So and to add,
Murray, you deserve to be suspended for throwing that out there. Yes, you do. My co-hosts have convinced me, and they are right.
All right, let Magic finish up. We're at the end. Go ahead, Magic.
I was just gonna say, to add one more thing, so to Eric's point, it wasn't just the ice pack. He threw a second object on the court. He threw a towel out there, so he had time to think about his action, and he doubled down on it and did it again. So to me, I think there was enough displayed there for him to, hey, think about your actions. You hurt your entire team.
No, he didn't hurt his team. His team was getting stomped anyway.
Stop it. You would have hurt your team. If he got knocked out of the doggone the rest of the series.
If it had a cost him, he would have hurt his team. Definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And sometimes you need to do that. So anyway, your last thoughts, Magic.
Hey guys, man, you know, we I don't know. I got too much to say. Go ahead, Clay.
Go ahead, Clay.
Ladies and gentlemen, just try to find your natural self. And sports is sports. And it's okay to talk about them and have a good time with them. But in the end, maintain your friendships, maintain who you are, find the spiritual force inside of you that is God, and pray to Jesus Christ every night.
Listen, be responsible for your actions. NBA, start dealing with people like that. Let them be responsible for their actions. If you hold them to a standard, then you won't have so many of these issues going on. Seem like every time the game somebody's playing, somebody's doing something stupid. Make them be responsible for their actions. That's my say.
Amen.
Accountability. Amen.
There we go.
Nip it in the bud.
All right, fellas.
All right, fellas. I'm going to throw some music on. I don't know if you can hear it, but we're going to try it. If not, I'll just wrap the headphones around it. Hear anything?
I got to get back and make the donuts.
All right, you make the donuts, and we're out of here.
All right.